May 13, 1799. The East India Company's government in Bengal, led by the Governor General Lord Richard Wellesley, issued regulations for the control and guidance of newspaper proprietors in the Calcutta Presidency. The penalty for violating these regulations was immediate deportation back to Europe. Remember that at the time, all the editors and proprietors of newspapers in India were of European origin. That is why this penalty was like a death knell for the free press and journalism. Wellesley's regulations made it compulsory for printers to disclose their names at the bottom of their papers. It also stated that editors and proprietors of newspapers had to disclose their names and addresses to the Chief Secretary of the government. The regulations also prohibited any newspaper from being published on a Sunday. Lastly, no newspaper could be published until the Chief Secretary inspected it. The last regulation imposed a virtual pre-censorship requirement on all newspapers. So, what were the criteria for this pre-censorship? Well, it was a long list. Newspapers were prohibited from printing any observations on the state of public credit, revenues, and finances of the East India Company and the movement of troops, ration or money, or any naval or military preparations. No intelligence about a ship's destination belonging either to the company or individuals could be published. The papers were not allowed to make observations regarding the conduct of the government or any of its officers, whether civil, military, marine, commercial, or judicial. They were also prohibited from printing anything libelous or private scandals that individuals were involved in. Statements on the probability of war or peace between the company and any local powers were also a no-go area. The censor could also prohibit observations that could convey any information to the company's various adversaries or create alarm or commotion within the East India Company's territories. Even passages from European newspapers that could affect the influence or credit of the British with the Indian states could not be republished. From the experiences of William Bolts, James Augustus Hickey, William Duane, and others, we know that the East India Company regularly used libel laws and deportation to curb the freedom of the press right from the birth of the first newspaper in India. So why did Wellesley have to resort to such strict regulations on the press? And what eventually led to the end of this censorship era in 1818?